looking at every detail. How does the hair tell the story? How are we slightly evolving the looks into 1922 this season? So I'm overseeing all those choices and how they can help tell our stories.
I remember Derek Thompson, who was a writer on the show for a long time, he told me very early on that whenever he was lost, he would just go back to the books and read the books. And so I took that on as a writer. And if ever I feel like I'm not sure about a story or I'm going into a pitch, I'll go back to the books and I use it like a compass. So I think we all kind of do think of it in that way, that the book series really is our compass and our North Star, because without it we wouldn't be here. And if ever you're feeling like, I'm not sure about this story, go to the books and really absorb it, and that can be what guides you. So thank you, Jen.
I joined the show on season 2 and 3 as the script coordinator, and then I moved on to other opportunities, but was so fortunate to be able to come back for season 11, and then still here. But what was nice about season 11 is that it was the last season my dad worked on, so we got to work together one more time. We've worked together a few times over the years, but it had been several years since, so it was really nice, and to be able to do that, it really felt like coming home. And then now I'm on the writing staff and thrilled to be here.
So grateful for all of you. The messages you send us, the artwork you make, the passion that you have for One Calls the Heart and our characters and the stories we tell, but also the beautiful community you've built together. It is so heartwarming and validating, and it makes us feel really good and very grateful about going to work every day at 4:30 in the morning.
We couldn't do our job without you, and you wouldn't have this community without the show that we're creating, and so it's just this like beautiful connection we all have through When Calls the Heart. And I think that's what's brought us all together, this shared history and this shared passion for the story that we're telling.
It has become by far the best job I've ever had. And not just because of these people up here who I love like family, but also because of you guys, because you give us the chance to do this. And it's been very, very rewarding. And each year, each season that we continue on our first couple of days, it's deeper and deeper how exciting and fun it is to be on set again on the first couple of weeks we shoot. And we wouldn't have that if it wasn't for the support that you guys give us. And I sincerely say thank you.
But I think the key to this family is that we laugh and cry together, right?
Is your mic working?
I'm choking up when you're laughing.
And we also sit in silence together as well.
There's never silence in a family, but that's we get to cycle through those beautiful emotions of laughter and joy and also tears, because love stories as well as heartache, and that's a journey, and we do it together.
I don't want to give too much away, but I think that we make significant strides forward with each season in terms of their relationship and their dynamic.
Does the hair go wild though? That's what people want to know. Do you like your hair now? Does the hair go wild?
Oh my goodness.
I heard there were some positive responses to certain cow lifting scene. There was a scene we did this season that also required some sort of physicality, and I said, you know what, we're going to take it a step further because that was a hit. We're going to remove the best.
I saw this production of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf on Broadway with Tracy Letts and the Steppenwolf Theater Company, and I would love to play George one day. I hope I'm probably about 20 years too late. Yeah. But that would be a dream role down the line.
In season 3, my first experience with the dynamic duo. It involved me locking Rosemary out of the room to tend to you. Yes. And there was something about that scene where I was like, who are these people?
Negative or positive?
Undecided. I'm kidding. You guys were fabulous. And it was sort of that moment that I realized, wow, this show has legs.
Just from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for coming.
Thank
from
you.
Such a great distance to hang out with us.
You cannot underestimate God. He can do some amazing things, not just personally, but for groups of us. And we have been blessed to be in a world that has changed so much over the years, and yet so much remains constant. This is still constant. We have one another, and I thank you all for being here. And I never would have dared to dream that I would stand in a place with people from around the world and realize that we are all part of the family.
Back in season 9, when Cooper is asking his dad about just any of the struggles that the family has faced as far as, you know, the color of their skin and whatnot. And it's a real conversation that I had to have with my kids. You know, sometimes things happen in life, and before you want to explain certain things to your kids, you are kind of forced to explain certain things to your kids. So that resonated back, and I literally had just spoken to Elias about a couple of things that happened in the world.
I think this season we are going to definitely see more layers to Minnie. I think it felt really good to play that moment for Minnie and to really let loose, and it's just allowed for me to find different levels and different dynamics to her character this season, which I think you guys will really like.
You know, this is actually something that came to me when they planted some really lovely seeds between Bill and Molly, and it's totally great that the romance didn't end up being a relationship, but I did really like their friendship. And the fact that she kind of was one of the only people in Hope Valley who somehow was able to kind of give Bill a little bit of guff, and I enjoyed that dynamic, and I hope that we have a chance to play with that a little bit, just as friends. And then Molly's sort of purpose in life. We kind of have touched on that a few times, and I really hope we get to do a little deeper dive into that, and that may be happening this season.
I was thinking, the coolest thing for me is the fact that we can all be here together, and I think that's like modern air travel. Seriously, I think it's pretty amazing that we can all kind of come together and be in this room, and I think that would be pretty.
Rob, what are you talking about? In Hope Valley, it takes 30 minutes to get anywhere in the world.
Didn't you invent the airplane? Oh, that's next season.
How has Florence surprised me in a lot of different ways, but I think one of the big ones was I had no idea that Florence liked to sing and dance. That was something that I did not have on my bingo card when I first started playing Florence Blakely, all the way back in season 1. She was such a cranky and uptight person, and I just thought maybe she admires, Rosemary and her acting thing, but I thought Florence would think that is quite frivolous. So it was quite a lovely surprise to learn that she used to be a ballerina, and she also was the driving force in roping Ned and doing little singing and dancing numbers for whatever situation arose. So that was a surprise.
Hi Amanda, my name is Clara, and I'm 13, and I was born in China. And I'm wondering if we'll be seeing any more Asian culture on Wind Calls the Heart. You are such an inspiration to me.
So I remember being 13
season, I was a little bullied and a lot teased. I loved ancient civilization and fantasy, and kids didn't really like that about me. But I remember thinking at the time, if they just got to know me, they'd be nice. And I found solace in books at this time. And I read a lot, and I felt like the writer understood me, and I felt seen by the stories that they depicted. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to be a writer one day, because I want to do that for one person. If I can help them feel seen, then my mission is complete in life. But then I also thought, okay, but I also want to be a stem cell researcher and an astronaut and a marine biologist. But now fast forward a bunch of years, I am in a profession where I'm allowed to do all of those careers. I am in a community of Hearties who love and support us. I share the stage with these amazing people who are my friends and now my family, and I get this sweet message from a girl from Tennessee, and I feel very full and like my mission is complete.
The best part of any job that I've done on the show as Hickam has been the people that I get paired with. And one of the things I love about having done so many different jobs is that each season I kind of partner up with different characters on the show, whether it was Rosemary and Lee at one point, or with Lucas, or as mayor, kind of working with Bill. And now in the saloon, I feel like I get to see a lot of everybody.
Coming to a new place can be a really intimidating thing. I don't know if anyone has ever had to move or pick up your life and move somewhere else, whether that was a decision you made yourself or one that was maybe forced upon you circumstantially. Either way, entering a new place is always a tricky thing to navigate. So I think that when that happens, sometimes we can enter a place with our guards up a little bit. There's some protection that takes place. And I think that that was really well written into Edie's character and her journey in season 12 when we first meet her, because she's kind of buttoned up and she's this lawyer with this quick wit and this jargon, and then she meets someone who kind of starts to disarm her a little bit in a way that maybe has never happened for her. So something that I felt was both equally rewarding and challenging as an actor was to play that initial kind of guard up. She's a woman in a man's world working as a lawyer, kind of a trailblazer in her own right, and slowly kind of peeling back the layers of softness to her character, and realizing that, you know, as she looks around and finds a true home in this new place, how does that start to change her in a really positive way that keeps her exactly who she is as a person, but also opens up maybe some parts of her heart that were closed off initially.